Genoa City is on fire with drama, secrets, and heartbreak. As Sharon reels from Matt Clark's shocking reappearance, she confides in Nick, but the truth may come too late. Claire's uneasy encounter with Mitch and her growing regrets set off a dangerous chain of events, while Noah's mysterious memory issues spark panic. Meanwhile, Audra's long-buried secret from Los Angeles is about to detonate after 3 years, threatening friendships, love, and power across the city. Jack Abbott spirals into chaos as Audra's sinister plot unfolds, and Holden scrambles to hide her arrival. Matt's twisted behavior turns deadly, leaving Sharon in danger and a major wedding day hanging by a thread. At the same time, Nick uncovers a chilling secret linking Matt to Noah's car crash, setting up a fierce face-off that could shatter the Newman family. Amid the chaos, a real-life celebration warms hearts. Y&R legend Melody Thomas Scott welcomes a new family member, melting fans everywhere. And just when viewers thought redemption was impossible, Kyle's Halloween surprise wins back fans' hearts. This is one week no young and restless fan can afford to miss. Every secret, every lie, every showdown explodes at once. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. The Young and the Restless took fans on a nerve-wracking emotional ride in the November 3rd episode, as familiar faces, buried secrets, and unexpected regrets collided in Genoa City. From a shaken Sharon's chilling run-in to Claire's growing emotional conflict, the episode delivered slow-burn tension with explosive potential ahead. At the Abbott mansion, father and son shared a rare moment of calm, at least at first. Jack and Kyle bonded over Harrison's Halloween joy, only for the conversation to turn dark when Kyle confessed his growing fears about Claire. He admitted that she's pulled away since he left Los Angeles, and she hadn't even replied to a photo of Harrison in his Halloween costume. The little boy misses her deeply, leaving Kyle determined to win her back. Jack, ever the voice of reason, advised patience. But Kyle's not one to wait quietly. He's convinced Holden, Claire's new flame, isn't who he appears to be. Jack warned him that proving it could backfire, but Kyle's mind was already made up. Across town, Claire's heart was in turmoil despite her outward confidence. After an intimate moment with Holden, she insisted she had no regrets and claimed to feel free for the first time. Yet, when he left, her confidence cracked. Alone with her thoughts, Claire scrolled through her phone, and the picture of Harrison in costume stopped her cold. Guilt and nostalgia flooded in. Victoria's visit only deepened the emotional storm, as her mother reminded her to live in the present and not let guilt consume her. Still, Claire's eyes betrayed her. Holden might have given her a new thrill, but the memory of Kyle and the child she left behind clearly haunted her. While emotional sparks flared for the Abbotts, a chilling mystery unfolded elsewhere. Sharon's world came crashing down when she spotted a face she believed was gone forever. Outside the shadow room, she screamed in disbelief, "This is impossible. Matt, you're dead." At Sienna's husband, Mitch. The resemblance to her old tormentor Matt Clark was undeniable. Shaken to the core, Sharon raced to find Nick, certain she'd just seen a ghost. Back at the hospital, Sharon tried to steady herself as she told Nick about her encounter. He reminded her that Matt Clark died years ago, but even Nick couldn't shake the feeling that something about Mitch was off. Then came a chilling thought. Could this mysterious man somehow be connected to Noah's recent crash? It wouldn't be the first time Matt Clark's shadow had loomed over their lives. Determined to uncover the truth, Nick and Sharon returned to the shadow room. But getting answers wasn't easy. The bouncer refused them entry, even after Nick tried bribing him. Using a bit of clever teamwork, Sharon distracted the doorman long enough for Nick to slip inside. There, he confronted Sienna directly, demanding to know if her husband Mitch was actually Matt Clark. Sienna panicked, denying everything but clearly rattled. Her deflection only deepened Nick's suspicions. Once Nick left, Sienna's fear became evident. When Mitch reappeared, she nervously confessed that Nick Newman believed he was someone named Matt Clark. Mitch's cold reaction did little to ease the tension, hinting that he's hiding something dangerous, and that Sharon's instincts might be right. Outside, Nick updated Sharon. He was certain Sienna was covering for her husband, and they agreed they'd have to find another way to expose the truth. Whatever Mitch, or Matt, is hiding, they're determined to bring it into the light. As secrets, lies, and unresolved pasts threaten to boil over, Genoa City braces for fallout. Sharon's nightmare may not be a hallucination, and Kyle's determination could lead to devastating consequences. With old enemies resurfacing and new romances teetering on the edge, one thing is certain: nothing in Genoa City stays buried for long. Today's next update. The next 2 weeks in The Young and the Restless, November 3rd to 14th, 2025, are shaping up to be pure chaos as buried secrets explode, old enemies return, and shocking confessions threaten to destroy relationships across Genoa City and Los Angeles. As the November sweeps kick into high gear, fans are about to witness some of the most intense confrontations and emotional twists of the year. Sharon's chilling discovery. The drama kicks off when Sharon Newman faces a terrifying blast from the past. While at the Shadow Room, Sharon comes face to face with a man she swears is Matt Clark, the villain who tormented her decades ago. But there's a catch: Matt's supposed to be dead. The man insists his name is Mitch Bacall, Sienna's husband, and he tries to convince Sharon she's mistaken. Shaken but certain, Sharon runs to Nick Newman and tells him she saw Matt alive. Nick's skepticism quickly turns to concern when Sharon connects Mitch to Noah's mysterious car crash. Determined to get answers, Nick and Sharon return to the Shadow Room, where Sienna denies everything and threatens Nick when he pushes too hard. But once Nick leaves, Mitch reappears, and his icy reaction to Sienna's confession that Nick suspects his true identity leaves little doubt. Sharon and Nick are on a collision course with danger as they prepare to expose the truth about Mitch's real motives and his possible role in Noah's accident. Noah awakens and brings new questions. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Noah Newman finally wakes up from his coma, marking the debut of Lucas Adams as the recast Noah. His recovery brings relief but also raises more questions about the crash that nearly killed him. Sharon is overjoyed but uneasy, and Nick can't shake the feeling that Mitch, or Matt, is connected. Claire's turmoil in Los Angeles. Over in Los Angeles, Claire Grace Newman is facing her own emotional crossroads. After a passionate night with Holden Novak, she insists she has no regrets. But when she sees the photo Kyle Abbott sent of himself and Harrison in matching Halloween costumes, guilt sets in. Victoria visits her daughter and urges her not to let guilt consume her, but Claire can't stop thinking about the family she left behind. Holden's charm and mystery continue to draw Claire in, but even she senses something is off. Could he be hiding something tied to the dangerous web surrounding Mitch and Sienna? Claire's struggle to balance her new romance with her emotional ties to Kyle and Harrison is about to reach a breaking point. Kyle and Jack reach boiling point. Back in Genoa City, Kyle Abbott is spiraling. Still reeling from Claire's distance, he turns to the bottle and to Jack for guidance. Jack urges him to be patient, reminding Kyle that Claire is grieving her father and trying to heal. But Kyle can't let go. He's convinced Holden is dangerous and determined to expose him, even if it means going behind everyone's back. Jack, meanwhile, is facing his own nightmare. As Victor Newman quietly plots an attack on Jabot using his AI initiative, Jack begins to panic. With tensions rising inside the company and Victor's shadow looming larger than ever, Jack's confidence starts to crack. He knows a major blow is coming, but from which direction remains to be seen. Sienna's cover-up and Nick's face-off. Midweek, Sienna takes drastic steps to cover her tracks. Rumors swirl that she may have been the anonymous caller who reported Noah's crash, linking her even deeper to the unfolding mystery. By Wednesday, Nick finally comes face-to-face with Mitch, or Matt Clark. The encounter leaves him rattled and furious, setting the stage for a dangerous confrontation that could put both him and Sharon at risk. Victor's shadow war and Audra's secret. As all this chaos brews, Victor Newman launches his next secret offensive, targeting Jabot and anyone standing in his way. His manipulative use of AI technology threatens to spark an all-out business war. But there's another storm coming. Audra Charles's long-buried secret is about to detonate. Holden appears to be helping her conceal something dark from her past, and when it surfaces, it could destroy alliances, careers, and relationships alike. Jack's paranoia grows as he braces for Victor's strike, but it's Audra's unraveling secret that could deliver the deadliest blow. Weddings, lies, and fallout ahead. As November 10th to 14th approaches, Christine and Danny's wedding brings Genoa City together, but not everyone comes in peace. Phyllis Summers might crash the celebration, while Daniel and Tessa find themselves battling temptation. Meanwhile, Matt's true identity finally comes out, and the fallout is explosive. Sharon's safety hangs in the balance, Claire's loyalties are torn between Holden and Kyle, and Victor's schemes threaten to consume Jabot. Audra's sinister secret could leave Genoa City in ruins, and Jack Abbott's panic spiral may be only the beginning. The next 2 weeks promise shocking reunions, emotional confessions, and dangerous power plays. The Young and the Restless isn't just heating up, it's ready to explode. Today's next update. Tuesday's episode of The Young and the Restless, November 4th, 2025, delivered a perfect blend of emotional family moments and rising suspense, as the fallout from Noah's accident deepened and new connections in Los Angeles stirred trouble. While Sharon celebrated her son's miraculous recovery, the shadows around Mitch Bacall, better known to longtime viewers as Matt Clark, continued to grow darker. Sharon and Nick still haunted by Matt Clark. The morning began with a shaken Sharon trying to calm her nerves after a sleepless night. Nick arrived at her hotel room with a peace offering, a warm scone and a smile, but both knew food couldn't fix the unease hanging over them. Sharon confessed that she couldn't shake the image of Matt Clark's face at the shadow room. Nick, still skeptical, tried to reason it out, suggesting it had to be Mitch Bacall, not the man who died years ago. But Sharon wasn't buying it. Her instincts told her Matt was alive, and he was targeting their family again. Nick promised to join her at the hospital soon but admitted he had another stop to make first. His plan? Confront Mitch head-on at the shadow room and see what the man had to say for himself. Claire's conflicted morning in Los Angeles. Over in Los Angeles, Claire Newman wasn't having an easy morning either. Nursing a hangover behind dark sunglasses, she sat at breakfast with her mother Victoria and grandmother Nikki. The two women couldn't help but notice her groggy demeanor, and Nikki subtly expressed concern over Claire's drinking. But talk soon turned to Claire's decision to return home to Genoa City. Holden Novak, overhearing that she was leaving town, pulled Claire aside. Their chemistry from the night before was still palpable, but Claire was clear, she needed space to find herself again. Holden, hurt but hiding it well, asked where that left him. Claire admitted she didn't know. She wanted to return home, reset, and figure out what normal meant again. Before her flight, though, Claire wanted two things: to see the mountains one last time and to stop by the shadow room to thank Sienna Bacall. Holden immediately recognized that her thank you visit was really a way to dig for information about his mysterious connection to Audra Charles. Still, he agreed to go with her. Mitch and Sienna's uneasy reunion. Back at the shadow room, Sienna confronted her husband Mitch about Nick's accusations. Mitch denied everything, claiming Nick was just a desperate father looking for someone to blame for Noah's crash. His tone was calm, but his eyes betrayed a flash of anger when Sienna mentioned that Nick wasn't the only one suspicious. He admitted missing her the night before, subtly questioning where she'd been. Sienna brushed him off, but the tension between them was unmistakable. Moments later, Claire and Holden arrived. Sienna greeted them warmly, and Claire took a moment to express her gratitude for the hospitality before preparing to say goodbye. That's when Mitch entered, and the mood in the room changed instantly. Claire meets Mitch, and feels the chill. As soon as Claire met Mitch, she sensed something unsettling. He claimed Sienna told him Claire was Noah's cousin, a harmless enough comment, but his overly friendly demeanor seemed off. When he mentioned meeting Noah in London and hinted at investing in Noah's new LA club, Claire's curiosity piqued. Then Sienna brought up speculation that Noah's crash might not have been an accident. Mitch's forced smile vanished, and he quickly steered the topic away. The exchange left Claire uneasy. When she and Holden stepped outside afterward, she admitted that Mitch's energy gave her the creeps. He felt wrong, she said quietly, glancing back toward the club's entrance. She then confronted Holden about the secrets he'd been keeping, warning that if he wanted any kind of friendship with her, he needed to start being honest, especially about Audra. Nick's determined hunt for the truth. Meanwhile, Nick arrived at the shadow room on his mission to find Mitch. Spotting Holden and Claire, he explained he needed to talk to the man about Noah's crash. Claire confirmed Mitch was inside but seemed uneasy, asking if Sharon had been there the night before. Nick dodged the question, not wanting to alarm her. Inside, the tension between Mitch and Sienna simmered. He scolded her for bringing up the accident with Claire, while Sienna pushed back, insisting Claire already knew. When Mitch questioned why Sienna seemed so nervous about Noah's situation, especially since she barely knew him, her silence spoke volumes. A miracle at the hospital. While all this played out, Sharon sat beside Noah's hospital bed, reading softly to him and praying for a sign. When his fingers twitched, her heart leapt. Then, slowly, Noah opened his eyes. "Mom," he whispered hoarsely, bringing tears to Sharon's eyes. The doctor soon confirmed that Noah was on the road to recovery. Though his memory was fuzzy, he couldn't remember the crash, he recognized his family instantly. When Victoria and Nikki arrived, Sharon shared the joyful news, and the three women gathered around Noah in relief. But even amid the happiness, a shadow lingered. Noah couldn't remember how he crashed, and Sharon knew exactly who she suspected might be behind it. As Nick hurried back to the hospital, unaware of how close he'd come to danger, one thing was clear: Mitch Bacall's mask was beginning to slip, and the truth was only a matter of time away. Today's next update. The walls are closing in on Audra Charles, and Genoa City is about to explode. The Young and the Restless is heating up as Audra's mysterious 3-year-old secret edges closer to exposure, a secret that could destroy reputations, end friendships, and crumble alliances that took years to build. The calm before the storm. For months, Audra has been carefully rebuilding her image, rising through the ranks of business and navigating her romantic chaos with poise. But that cool exterior hides a secret she's buried for years, one that could ruin her connection to nearly everyone in Genoa City. As whispers about her past spread, the people she's wronged are beginning to connect the dots. Noah Newman remains in a medically induced coma after his devastating car crash, and his parents are desperate for answers. Holden Novak has been brought in for questioning, but what investigators don't know is that Holden and Audra share a dark history from their days in Los Angeles, one that's about to resurface at the worst possible moment. The web of lies tightens. It all began in LA, long before Audra returned to Genoa City with ambition and charm. Whatever happened back then has stayed hidden until now. Sienna Bacall, who's quickly becoming one of the most unpredictable players in town, knows more than she's letting on. Her connection to both Holden and Audra could expose everything. If Sienna decides to talk, Audra's world will collapse. In the meantime, the Abbotts and Newmans are plotting ways to drive Audra out of town. Kyle Abbott, after following Claire to Los Angeles, stumbled upon shocking details about Audra's past. Armed with that information, he's ready to use it to take her down. But doing so could create ripple effects that no one, not even Victor, can control. Trouble in business and love. Audra's latest business maneuver at Abbott Communications has put her in a delicate position. Sally Spectra, her closest ally, has been defending her, but even Sally's patience is wearing thin. As Sally and Billy work to restore the company's image, rumors about Audra's misconduct threaten to destroy it all. Her personal life isn't faring much better. Nate Hastings has kept his distance after her latest apology, and his growing closeness with Victoria only deepens Audra's sense of isolation. Even worse, she knows that if her past with Noah ever comes to light, she'll lose everything she's worked for. What really happened in Los Angeles? Speculation is swirling about what Audra and Holden are hiding. Some believe they were involved in something criminal, perhaps tied to their music industry connections with Tucker McCall. Others suspect something more personal and explosive, that Audra may have been pregnant with Noah's child and lied about it, leading to a chain of cover-ups and betrayals. Holden's past remains murky, and his sudden reappearance has many questioning his motives. Was he protecting Audra, or using her for his own gain? And how does Sienna's husband, Mitch Bacall, fit into this tangled puzzle? Whatever the truth, it's clear that the events in Los Angeles are far from over. Every time Audra thinks she's escaped her past, another reminder surfaces, and this time, there may be no way out. The domino effect. As the clock ticks down, the consequences of Audra's secret are spreading fast. Friendships are fracturing, lovers are turning on one another, and powerful families are preparing for war. Victor Newman, ever the strategist, sees an opportunity in Audra's downfall, one that could strengthen his hold over both Newman Enterprises and Jabot. Sienna's next move could be the deciding factor. If she reveals what she knows about Audra and Holden's actions, the fallout could destroy careers, marriages, and more than one powerful legacy in Genoa City. A reckoning is coming. Audra's confidence is fading, and her allies are growing restless. Sally might walk away, Nate has already distanced himself, and even Tucker could decide she's too much of a liability. As the truth inches closer to exposure, one question looms: can Audra control the narrative, or will her 3-year-old secret finally consume her? One thing's certain, once this bombshell drops, Genoa City will never be the same again. Today's next update. The Young and the Restless is gearing up for an explosive 3 weeks that promise twisted mind games, emotional reunions, and shocking betrayals. From Matt Clark's sinister return to Christine and Danny's wedding day chaos, Genoa City is about to face one of its most dramatic months yet. Week 1, November 3rd to 7th, Matt Clark's sinister return. The week kicks off with a chilling revelation as Sharon Newman comes face-to-face with Mitch Bacall, a man who insists he's not the presumed dead Matt Clark. But Sharon knows that face, and her instincts scream danger. Though Mitch tries to spin his story and claim a new identity, Sharon refuses to fall for his manipulation. Nick Newman quickly steps in to protect her, determined to prove that Mitch is indeed Matt, the same man who tormented their lives years ago. A fierce confrontation looms as Nick corners him, exposing inconsistencies in his story. Matt's calm exterior begins to crack, hinting that his new life as Mitch might be built on deception and crime. Meanwhile, Sharon's fears intensify when strange things begin happening around her. A shadow lurking outside her home, anonymous calls, signs that Matt isn't done playing games. Nick vows to keep her safe, but Matt's unpredictability keeps everyone on edge. Noah's awakening and new questions. Elsewhere, there's a glimmer of hope as Noah Newman finally wakes from his medically induced coma. Played by newcomer Lucas Adams, Noah's return will stir fresh drama. As the bandages come off, Sharon and Nick press him for details about the crash. Did someone run him off the road, and was Matt involved? Victoria Newman steps in to help uncover the truth, trying to piece together how her nephew got caught in this dangerous web. But the more she learns, the more questions arise. And while Sienna Bacall insists she knows nothing, her anxious behavior suggests otherwise. Sienna seems desperate to protect her husband, Mitch, but how far will she go to keep his secrets buried? Week 2, November 10th to 14th. Secrets in Los Angeles. As the investigation deepens, Audra Charles makes a bold move by heading to Los Angeles. Her arrival sets off alarm bells for Holden Novak, who realizes she's stirring up trouble that could expose their shared past. Holden's tension grows as Audra pushes for answers about what really happened during their time in L.A. At the same time, Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott's relationship begins to unravel. Kyle wants the truth about Claire's involvement with Holden, especially after learning they shared an intimate night together. Their confrontation quickly turns explosive, with Kyle's jealousy and anger threatening to end things for good. Determined to prove Holden is dangerous, Kyle starts digging into his past and uncovers clues that link Holden and Audra to criminal activities. What started as a romantic rivalry may turn into a battle for justice as Kyle becomes more obsessed with revealing the truth. Meanwhile, Victor Newman takes advantage of the chaos by advancing his newest power play, a cutting-edge AI project that could shift control in Genoa City's business world. His plans could destabilize both Newman Enterprises and Jabot, igniting a fresh corporate war that pits family against family. Week 3, November 17th to 21st. Sharon's life in jeopardy. As the final week approaches, Matt Clark's dark side fully resurfaces. His twisted behavior escalates, confirming Nick's worst fears. Sharon finds herself in grave danger when Matt's obsession with her reignites. Nick becomes her protector once again, but stopping a man like Matt, who's already faked his identity and outsmarted death, won't be easy. While the Newman family deals with this mounting threat, other relationships take surprising turns. Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers share undeniable chemistry, despite their mutual distrust. Kane suspects Phyllis has double-crossed him, yet he can't ignore his attraction to her fiery personality. Phyllis, too, finds herself drawn in, though she may be walking into another heartbreak or manipulation. As sparks fly between them, Y&R insiders hint that Phyllis's next big love interest will surprise everyone, and Kane remains the top contender. Their connection could either lead to redemption or total disaster. Wedding day chaos. As November 21st approaches, all eyes turn to Christine Blair and Danny Romalotti's wedding, a long-awaited celebration that might not go as planned. Phyllis has been trying to accept Danny's decision to move on, but old emotions and unfinished business could surface at the worst possible time. In true Genoa City fashion, what begins as a joyful event could end in heartbreak, confession, or chaos. With Matt's threats looming, corporate wars brewing, and old flames reigniting, no one in Genoa City is safe from the fallout. One thing's for sure, the next 3 weeks on The Young and the Restless will be unforgettable. Today's next update. The Rinse Y&R. November 3rd, Nick uncovers a dangerous secret tied to Matt Clark and Noah's crash. Nick and Sharon's search for answers about Noah's crash leads to a shocking discovery, and a familiar enemy. In the November 3rd episode of The Young and the Restless, Nick Newman took charge of the investigation into his son's car crash and stumbled into a mystery that resurrected one of Genoa City's darkest ghosts. After Sharon's shocking claim that she'd seen Matt Clark alive, Nick's search for answers led straight to Sienna and her secretive husband, Mitch Bacall, a man who may be hiding far more than his name. Key takeaways. Nick confronted Sienna, suspecting she's protecting a man connected to Noah's crash. Sharon refused to back down after recognizing Mitch as her former tormentor, Matt Clark. The Newmans' hunt for answers reignited a decades-old nightmare. What happened with Matt Clark? Haunted by Sharon's insistence that she came face-to-face with Matt Clark, Nick couldn't rest until he followed her lead to the shadow room. There, he pushed Sienna for information about her elusive husband, determined to confirm or disprove the impossible. But when the bouncer referred to the man as Mitch, Nick's suspicions hardened. Sienna denied knowing anyone named Matt Clark, but her unease told a different story. Her voice trembled as Nick demanded to see her husband face-to-face. Instead of cooperating, she threatened to have him banned from the club, a defensive move that only confirmed she was hiding something. Outside, Nick told Sharon that Sienna's fear said it all. Mitch Bacall may indeed be the man who once terrorized them both. Why it matters. Matt Clark's crimes are etched in the Newman family's history: deception, obsession, and violence that once left Sharon and Nick fighting for their lives. His supposed death over 2 decades ago offered closure, but Sharon's recent encounter reopened every wound. Now, with their son Noah lying in a coma after a suspicious wreck, the connection feels impossible to ignore. If Mitch truly is Matt, it means he's been alive for years, and possibly manipulating events from the shadows. Sharon's recognition wasn't just a moment of shock, it's a turning point that pulls the Newmans back into a cycle of fear and revenge that once nearly destroyed them. The fallout. Nick's resolve to expose the truth could pit him against more than just Sienna and Mitch. It could place his entire family in danger. His vow to find a way to get to Mitch when he won't see him coming marks a shift from defense to offense. Meanwhile, Sharon's trauma threatens to resurface as she grapples with the possibility that her worst nightmare is real. As the Newmans brace for impact, it's clear this isn't just about Noah's crash anymore. It's about a ghost from the past, one powerful enough to unravel everything they've rebuilt. Today's next update. The Young and the Restless Tuesday in November 4th update. Claire sparks panic, Holden hides Audra's LA arrival. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Tuesday in November 4th reveals that Claire Newman will spark some panic while Holden Novak hides Audra Charles's LA arrival. For starters, Claire's ability to make good decisions will be called into question. Nikki Newman will grow deeply troubled over Claire's link to Holden and the risky moves she's making in Los Angeles. Claire ran away from all her Kyle Abbott problems and has been having a blast with Holden, but she's still suffering from a torn heart deep down. Nikki may fear that Claire will take things too far with Holden and find herself unable to get back on track with Kyle. Claire already enjoyed a bedroom romp with Holden, so Nikki may put the puzzle pieces together on that. Whether Nikki voices her concerns to Claire, Victoria Newman or both, she'll indeed fret over her granddaughter. While Claire's actions spark some panic for Nikki, great news is ahead for Nick Newman and Sharon Newman. Sharon and Nick will take a timeout on tackling the latest Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall mystery since Noah Newman is about to awaken. Lucas Adams will finally make his first appearance in the role, so it'll be interesting to see his spin on Noah as he settles in. Noah will still have his bandages on at first, but those will be removed before long. Y&R spoilers say Noah will be disoriented when he emerges from his coma, but Nick, Sharon and his doctors will be there to help him make sense of his current situation. Next, Audra will arrive in Los Angeles and cross paths with Holden, but he'll apparently keep quiet about her showing up in town. Of course, Holden will continue to keep Audra's past secrets quiet as well. That'll be partly about protecting Audra and partly about protecting himself since Holden helped clean up her mess years ago. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra will eventually stir up some trouble at the Shadow Room, so stay tuned for updates on all the twists and turns. Today's next update. YNR legend Melody Thomas Scott adds a new family member, and fans are swooning over Kashmir. The new addition to Melody Thomas Scott's family is the cat's Meow. Wednesday, October 29th, was National Cat Day in the U.S. It was the perfect opportunity for Young and the Restless star Melody Thomas Scott to introduce fans to her family's gorgeous feline addition. In an Instagram post, Scott shared how their cat, Kashmir, came into their lives and found a home. Key takeaways. How Kashmir went from being a stray to a house cat. The origin of her name. YNR co-stars and fans react to Kashmir. Melody Thomas Scott adopts a cat. When Scott and her family met the cat who would become their beloved Kashmir, it wasn't through an adoption center or a shelter. No, she came into their lives unexpectedly. In her post, the actress told fans, "Kashmir found her way into our backyard, so fragile, so weak, so hungry," which is a commonly heard refrain from anyone who has come across a stray while outside. But for her family, helping Kashmir included taking her in. Scott's fur baby has an apt name. The YNR legend said the family named her Kashmir because of her beauty. There's no denying the feline is stunning. Her deep blue eyes and rich-looking white, tan, and brown fur make her look as expensive as her name suggests. According to Scott, Kashmir is a Siamese ragdoll, also known as a Ragamese cat. Per Catster, due to their mix, a Ragamese temperament is likely to be talkative and friendly, almost dog-like in its interactions with people. They're pretty low maintenance and laid back, but enjoy a good cuddle and being held. They're also fine with companionship and get along well with other animals. Though if they take more after the Siamese side of their mix, it's best if they have a playmate, whether another cat or a well-behaved dog. Kashmir's fan club. Love poured in on Scott's post introducing Kashmir, with her co-stars and fans just as smitten with the feline as she is. Tracy Bregman said, "So beautiful. Enjoy your new baby, how lucky she is." Melissa Ordway, Laura Lee Bell, and Courtney Hope were all heart eyes as they spoke to Kashmir's beauty as well. Beth Maitland gave a nod to Scott and her fur baby, sharing the same eye color, gorgeous blue eyes like her mama. YNR's costume designer Mandy Line, who is a cat mom herself, has even adopted the cat as her family, too. She said, "Baba, that's my niece." As for Scott's fans, there was one concerned person who said, "For sure someone is missing this baby. Those eyes are 1 in a million." But the actress shared that she and her family had done their due diligence. She replied to the fan, "One would think." But she had no collar or ID and had not been chipped. "We tried to find her owner, but nothing. So, she is now ours. And we love her to bits." A couple commenters opened up about their own fur babies. One shared, "She's beautiful. 2 of my 4 cats are backyard rescues as well. They are so grateful, affectionate, and have enriched my life beyond measure. I know Kashmir will have such a wonderful life with you." While another said, "She is beautiful. We have 2 rescue cats. 1, Charlie, found us. He was so ill and shy, but he knew he needed help. He is now healthy and happy and so loved. Our other cat, Chloe, was top of the euthanized list at our local humane society. She was young, had at least 1 litter, and was abused. She is now bed ties with Charlie and has even begun to enjoy our dog." Even PETA celebrated with Scott, stating, "So happy she's joined your family. Thank you for sharing her story and inspiring others to help cats in need." Today's next update. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Wednesday, November 5th. Nick and Matt's fierce face-off, Sienna's police cover-up. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, November 5th, reveal that Nick Newman and Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall will have a fierce face-off. Sienna Bacall will also focus on a police cover-up, so let's talk about all the action coming up in Wednesday's show. Despite Sharon Newman's phone call with updates on Noah Newman's coma awakening, Nick may not be able to pass up his opportunity to confront Matt. Perhaps Nick will simply promise Sharon that he'll be there as soon as he can and head into the shadow room first. Sienna will be busy trying to keep the cops off her trail in Wednesday's show, so that may allow Nick to corner Mitch alone. Whatever the case, Y&R spoilers say Sienna will indeed concentrate on a police cover-up. It's clear that Sienna wants to avoid any scrutiny when it comes to her connection to Noah, so she'll work to protect herself and the nightclub. In the meantime, Nick will face off with his worst foe of all time. Although Nick trusts Sharon's judgment on this, he'll be even more convinced that Mitch is Matt when he sees the guy for himself. Matt may play more mind games and try to act like Nick's got it all wrong, but Nick will feel certain he's staring at his old nemesis. There'll be some incredibly tense moments as Nick barks out questions and delivers some major threats. At the hospital, Victoria Newman will mull over Noah's crash and worry about how suspicious it all seems. This could lead to Victoria pumping Sharon for more info. So will Sharon admit Matt Clark is alive and may be linked to what happened? Regardless, Nick will ultimately head to the hospital and join Sharon by Noah's bedside. Once Nick reunites with Noah, he'll express how glad he is to see his son awake and alert. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the doctor will eventually announce it's time for Noah's bandages to come off, so more good news is ahead for Sharon and Nick. Today's next update. A Halloween treat, how Kyle redeemed himself to Young and the Restless fans. Kyle celebrated Halloween with Harrison and dressed up as a pig. It was a win-win for everyone. Kyle had some wholesome Halloween plans. He flew back home to Genoa City to celebrate the holiday with his son, Harrison. Fans of the Young and the Restless felt Kyle redeemed himself with this move. Key takeaways. Fans called out Kyle for stalking Claire in Los Angeles. She told him that she needed time and space to figure out who she was. Kyle butted into the Newmans' drama and tried to get intel on Holden. He finally went back to Genoa City to celebrate Halloween with Harrison. Y&R fans claimed he redeemed himself. Kyle gives Y&R fans the creeps. Kyle refused to give up on his relationship with Claire. First, he surprised her with an engagement. Then, he followed her to Los Angeles. His third and final move was to try to gather information about Holden. Claire agreed to go to LA with Holden. She wanted to find herself outside of a serious relationship. However, their trip was abruptly interrupted by Kyle, who arrived with a bouquet of flowers. Y&R fans have been creeped out by his behavior. Some have claimed that he's borderline stalking his ex-girlfriend. In Kyle's mind, he believes that these grand gestures will win her over. Claire has told Kyle that she wants her space. Yet, Kyle has failed to give her that. He still thinks he can get her back if he gets dirt on Holden. In the meantime, he's trying to figure out how to take down Audra for ruining his relationship. He has yet to take accountability for his actions. Did Kyle redeem himself? Now, fans are seeing Kyle in a different light. Over on one soap opera message board, they noticed that he redeemed himself by celebrating Halloween with Harrison. They dressed up as pigs, which is a win-win in the viewer's eyes. I am not a Kyle fan, but when he dressed up as one of the 3 little pigs for Harrison and answered the door with him on Halloween, he gained a little bit of my respect, the original poster wrote. Kyle might be a disaster in his love life, but he's a good father and loves Harrison deeply, one person agreed. However, not all fans were moved by Kyle's behavior. He simply did what most parents would do on Halloween. No matter how his love life is going, Kyle does put his son first. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say Kyle redeemed himself, someone else argued. But they noted that the best part of all that was when Kyle put on the pig nose. Now that I enjoyed. What are your thoughts? Do you think Kyle redeemed himself? Or do you think he was doing what most parents do? For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring